Definitely, because I mean, the quarterback, you put a lot of things on the quarterback's shoulders. I feel like just the success of the organization, I feel like you put it on the quarterback. So I think, too, you go into the locker room, it's like, now who are we looking at to lead us to victory? Who are we looking at to bring us out of hard times, adversity? And I mean, every coach, every team, everybody goes through adversity. So it's like the first person you look to is your quarterback. How do they respond? I think bringing in a new guy, a young guy, a rookie, somebody who hasn't been in the NFL locker room before, that's a lot to look at them and think, okay, he's going to be the one to just lead us to victory. But I think it definitely has been some times where that has happened. But I think for us, it's a little uncertainty in that. And I think we just got to continue to be confident in whoever that is and trust the front office, trust the staff that they're bringing in the right person to help us win. But I definitely think it is a little tricky knowing that we have Justin and knowing that he has been a leader vocally, physically. He's been one of our hardest workers on the team. He stays after practice. He throws. I mean, just the things that we already know from Justin, I think it's easier for us to go out there and know that he's somebody who we can be confident that's going to fight, who's going to do everything they can to win his ball games. But I think bringing in somebody else that's new, that's young, like I said, I think that's it. You have to wait and see. I think that's the biggest thing. It kind of turns into a waiting game. You have to wait through camp, through spring games. I mean, not spring games, through the preseason games and what they're going to do and who they can be. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to wait to see when the guns get blazing and things get hot and you see them big boys on the other side rushing you. I mean, it's a lot to go into it. It's not college ball no more. So, I mean, I think whoever it is, I think we just got to continue to trust the process and stay in it. But I think Justin's one of those ones.
Team in their division, their long-standing rival, the Bears, who find themselves in a bad position. They've been unable to find a trade that works for them for Justin Fields. And so the former Bear Kyle Long had this suggestion about what they might need to do.
You retain Justin Fields, you keep him. You also draft Caleb Williams. You get two quarterbacks for cheap. At some point during the season, somebody's going to come knocking on Ryan Poles' door because they will have an injury in their own building. They will need a quarterback that's ready, an explosive, dynamic option, and that's Justin Fields.
Can they do that?
I hate it. I hate it. And listen, I got much love. Shout out to Kyle Long anyway. But I just think the quarterback room, Dominic, you know this as well, quarterback room is the most delicate room on a team. It really is, because the quarterback position, they tend, psychologically, they tend to be hot strong. And so when you have a situation where you have a former number one pick, first round pick in Justin Fields, and now you bringing in his quote unquote replacement as a number one overall pick, that dynamic seems very, very odd, and I wouldn't want any parts of it if I'm the Chicago Bears. None.
Teams need defined roles, and they need to buy into their defined roles. And I'm not sure that it can be clear what Justin Fields' role would be, and I'm not sure that he would buy into it. I think my message to Ryan Poles would be, you don't have to win every transaction. Right now, you have to do what's best for the young quarterback that you're about to draft and what's best for the team. If he believes that Justin Fields on that roster is best for the team, then more power to him. But I find it really hard to believe that's the case.
Greeny.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Again, this is not me talking. Talked to NFL execs this week. Again, not me talking. They said the exact same thing that Kyle Long said.
What did they say?
They said it makes sense to hold on to Justin Fields. Literally the opposite of what we think at this table. Because think about it. Talk to one exec. Both execs are on teams that are in the QB market. Mm-hmm. And they said, one of them said, the longer you hold out, the cheaper his value is, right? Meaning, if the Bears want a second, we just wait. That price will go down. Second exec last night said, you know what? Why not keep them both? Again, America, Bishop, I don't believe in this. I don't think it makes sense for the reasons that you guys just laid out. But, Dominique, when you say Ryan Poles has to understand you can't win every transaction, the conversations I had this week were, oh no, yes, he does need to win this because of the position that the Bears were in last year, having the number one pick, giving it away, having Justin Fields, having everyone know that they're going to draft a quarterback and knowing they still have Justin Fields. And in this game of chicken, Ryan Poles, again, not me, guys,
So you said,
are saying that you can't just give up a first-round pick for a fifth. Ryan Poles in this moment can't just give up a fifth and a sixth.
Okay, well,
You can't get a fifth and a
you
sixth.
said
for
that you
him.
talked to executives. You didn't talk to players or coaches. Executives' jobs is to win transactions, and I think that the goal should be to win football games. So the decision that you should make is, how is this decision going to impact us winning football games? If you sincerely believe that keeping Justin Fields is going to help you win football games, keep him. I don't see it that way.
Agreed.
Lose the transaction. Mac Jones, get missing for a sixth-round pick.
Yes.
Fine. We are turning the page.
I agree with you. Hear me, though. Who is making the transaction? Not a coach, not a player. That is the difference, and that's part of the complicated situation of where we're at.
Again, for me, we're talking about two different things. You talk one conversation is about who's winning the transaction. I'm talking about the chemistry in the locker room, in the meeting rooms. Like, that is super important, especially the quarterback room. Like, people don't understand, like, the dynamic in the quarterback room can be make or break depending on who's in that room.
So let me play devil's advocate here, because while I think I tend to lean towards what you guys are saying, the other side is starting to make a little bit of sense to me. The first sentence I would say, you're a business person, you're a smart, savvy man. Has any organization ever become better by giving away something of value for far less than it is worth? Right? Just on its face, that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So trading away Justin Fields, who was worth something. I don't know how we quantify what he's worth, but he's worth a lot more than a fifth-round pick. So giving him away for a fifth-round pick is in and of itself bad. The only reason you would do it is if you have no choice. So let's live in a world where now you make that choice.
Yep.
Now you say, all right, I know this isn't the way things are normally done, but we got two good young quarterbacks. We're going to let them compete for the job. We're going to let Justin Fields and Caleb Williams or whoever we draft go out there in training camp, compete for the job. If one of them, now we have two good quarterbacks. If one of them gets hurt, we still have a good backup, and we get on with our lives and we see where it all leads us.
Anytime I'm making decisions like this, you try to assign some probability to the outcomes. And I feel like, given my experience, and I'm with you, just because no one else has ever done it before doesn't mean it can't be done. And maybe Justin Fields and Caleb Williams have the disposition that can allow you to keep them in there at the same time and work through this. Maybe they don't. I haven't seen it happen in the past where two young guys who expect to be stars in this league coexist at that position. I haven't seen it work. I feel like the probability of it going wrong, if you keep them, is higher than the probability of it going well. So give me my sixth-round pick. Sorry, Justin, you got to go. Y'all can laugh at me because I lost the transaction, but I won the transaction that ended up with Caleb. I won the transaction that ended up with a pass rusher. Like, I've won plenty of transactions, and I'm going to win some damn games, and I have a franchise quarterback whose growth is not going to be impeded by other people and other nonsense that's around. So yeah, I don't want to sell anything for less than it's worth, but I also don't want to devalue the highest asset that's been in the draft in years, and Caleb Williams. I do not want to put anything that's in his way that would impede his progress from becoming what we think he can become. And if that costs me a second-round pick, so damn be it.
Okay, I think that's probably right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I agree, but I see the other side.
No, I see
the other side is as ludicrous as, and there may come a point where they don't really have much in the way of an option. Champ week moment last night. Bulls down 2 against Indy. 2 seconds left in regulation. Hit it.
Caruso to inbound. DeRozan to tie it.
The marvelous DeRozan
Does it again in Indianapolis, and we're going to overtime.
Compton's in the house.
What a night for DeMar DeRozan as he brings them all the way back, and they wind up winning. The Bulls do in overtime. DeRozan, a 6-time All-Star, gets lost in the day-to-day talk because Chicago is just so bad. But he's still one of the clutch players in the league, second this season in clutch time scoring, only slightly behind Steph Curry. All right, back to the NFL. Fact or fiction? Here we go. D. Wood, if I said the Bills' Super Bowl window is closed, is that fact or fiction?
No, that's fiction. Listen, anytime you have Josh Allen as your quarterback, who's a top 3 quarterback in the National Football League, your window will always be open. Now, listen, we know Buffalo has been dealing with some salary cap restraints, and they've let go of some key veterans, particularly on the defensive side, but they'll retool, and like I said, anytime you have Josh Allen, you always have a shot.
All right, next up, Kmart, let's go to Minnesota. If I said Justin Jefferson will be a Viking next season, is that fact or fiction?
Greeny It's fact. But honestly, Minnesota, what is taking so long? They have said, they've made it clear they want Justin Fields. Whoa, sorry.
Yeah, they should have him too, by the way.
Justin Jefferson. They want Justin Jefferson back. They want to pay him, and Justin clearly wants to stay there. But at this point, let's get it going, guys.
And let's get him Justin Fields and move on with our lives. I like that call, too. Dominique, if I said the Packers are the biggest threat to San Francisco in the NFC, is that fact or fiction?
It feels like fact after we saw the way that they played last year with a first-year starter at quarterback. They've always had concerns on defense. Hopefully those things will be addressed. But when you have a quarterback that's as promising as Jordan Love has shown, talented receivers, like they were so good last year with a very young team. A little bit of maturity, some playoff experience. I do think that right now, headed into the season, this could be one of the scariest teams in the NFC.
Oh, I completely agree. I think they're going to be really good. And then that brings us to another.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn. Chào các bạn. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ cùng với các bạn đi tô mò nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ dẫn các bạn đi tô mò. Nếu các bạn thấy hay, hãy cho mình lượt like và một lần đăng ký kênh để ủng hộ mình. Mình cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều. Và bây giờ chúng ta cùng bắt đầu đi tô mò nào.
Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục tô mò nha các bạn. Rồi mình tô xong nhé các bạn.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các bạn. Chào các bạn. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ cùng với các bạn đi tô màu nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ dẫn các bạn đi tô màu. Nếu các bạn thấy hay, hãy cho mình lượt like và một lượt đăng ký kênh để ủng hộ mình. Mình cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều. Và bây giờ chúng ta cùng bắt đầu đi tô màu nào.
Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục tô màu nhé các bạn. Về này mới đi tô màu xong cho các bạn.